Do recruiters really only read your resume for 6 or 7 seconds? Yeah, kind of. But also not really. It's a little bit more complicated than that. My name is Mike Peditto. I'm the Director of Talent for Teal. I've been reading resumes and hiring people for over a decade, and I want to help you understand what makes me look at a resume for longer, what makes me stop reading a resume, and what stands out on a resume. I also want to be clear, when you get a lot of resume guidance, you are hearing a lot of people's opinions. So rather than focusing on exact answers or saying anything is a fact, we're going to talk about generally good and bad practices I think most recruiters follow when looking at a resume. I love to continue making more videos like this, so subscribe to our channel and let me know in the comments what else I can talk about. The truth is that most people who apply to a job either aren't qualified for the job, applying for the wrong job completely, or at a minimum aren't close to a lot of the other people who maybe have gone through the process already. When recruiters look at a resume, they're very rarely starting from scratch with no information. They've seen a lot of similar resumes, they've talked to the hiring team, they know what the company is looking for. So those are the things they're looking for right away. There's two things that right away can let me know a resume isn't the right fit for the job, and that's where this 6 to 8 second number really comes from. One is the wrong job completely. Let's look at Tina here. Let's say this was an application for a job for a senior front-end engineer. I can tell this isn't the right person for the job very quickly. I see marketing director, and I know that this isn't going to be correct. This does happen more than you think. Let's say I'm looking for a marketing director who's been doing this for 10 years and has 10 years of experience. Maybe there's a little bit of flexibility. But when I see January 2023 to present and know that this person has just over a year of experience, they might be great for a lot of roles, but they're not going to be great for this 10-year required marketing director role. So I know I can move on. I don't have to continue in reading the resume because the bare minimum qualification that I need is not met. So let's talk about what stands out to a recruiter to get them to read more of the resume. One of the first things on a resume and the strongest things I think people can do for themselves is a great headline or target title at the top of their resume. I think this is a great thing that can be done to help people stand out with these target titles, but I also think it can go further. Let's say that you have read the job description and you know that on top of a marketing director, demand generation and partnership management is also important. One of the nice things with Teal and the ability to toggle things on and off is you can have a headline that looks something like this: Marketing Director, Demand Generation, Partnership Management. I know when I open up this resume that the three things that are the most important to me, if you've read the job description, are right here at the top. Now, the experience has to be there. The most important part of your resume and where I'm going to go as soon as I get through this top portion where I see that is into your experience. I'm going to look at your most recent roles and I'm going to be looking for the things that stand out to me of what I'm looking for in this role. We know in this role that demand gen is important. And I can see it in this bullet point as soon as I look at the resume. It's going to stand out to me. We also know that partnership management is important. I can see several bullet points here about partnership management. This person is helping me understand that they have done the work we're looking for in this role. Beyond just the top skills like demand generation and partnership management, it's really important to be able to read through a job description and make sure that your resume is talking to the skills necessary in the job. This is somewhere that Teal's matching mode really comes in. If this person knows that we also need someone who has managed teams, they've put that in here. If this person knows that we also need somebody who has developed content strategy and roadmaps, they've put that in here. They are matching their resume to this job to make sure that it's standing out. And these are the things that are going to stand out to me as I read the resume. So let's talk about skills sections and summary sections. I think the skills section on a resume can be great, but I will always keep going back to the idea that I think experience is where these skills matter much more. It's great if you can list all these things on a resume and say I've done all of these, but if you're not showing them off in your experience, it does not mean as much. A perfect example here is HubSpot in the skills section for Tina. Let's say that for this role, HubSpot is really important. It's listed here in the skills. Unfortunately, when I go through the experience, I don't see HubSpot anywhere in here. So I don't know if Tina has actually used it. I don't know how strong she is with it. With Teal's resume builder tool, you are able to toggle bullet points on and off depending on the job you're applying to. So here's two bullet points that do mention HubSpot where we can include them on the resume. And now much more than just cramming them into a skills section, it's been shown off exactly how HubSpot was used in previous roles, which is going to do a lot more for you when a recruiter is looking for HubSpot use beyond just putting in a skills section. When it comes to summaries on a resume, if you're going to include one, it's important to make sure your summary speaks to you, your experience, and really makes you stand out. This is a summary that myself and I think a lot of recruiters would wind up skipping because you can tell that it's full of a lot of industry buzzwords, it's full of a lot of things, but it doesn't really show off anything about this person. If I can copy and paste your summary and put it almost word for word on somebody else's resume and have it make no difference at all, it's not a great summary for you. With Teal, you do have the option to take a summary totally off and just rely on a headline like this. Or you can find a summary that maybe is a little bit more specific to you and your experience, and something that's far more likely to be read and stand out and make you look like a great candidate for the job rather than just a generic marketing director like that first summary did. If there's one takeaway from all these tips, let it be that you need to show off great experience in a way that's very easy for a recruiter to find on your resume. The 6 to 8 second rule isn't totally made up, but it is based on the fact that I can very easily, within 6 to 8 seconds, tell if this person is way off from the candidate that I'm looking for and move on to another candidate. It does not mean that a recruiter won't dig deep into your resume once you've made it through that first initial just glance. Hopefully these are some helpful tips for you to try to do for yourself. Find a headline or a title that makes sense at the top of your resume. Make sure your experience really speaks to the experience that the job is asking for, and worry about some of those other bells and whistles after that, because this is where recruiters are going to spend most of their time looking. If you thought this was helpful, let me know in the comments, or if there's something else you'd rather I talk about, let me know in the comments as well. And of course, like this video, share it so other people can benefit from it, subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to make more things like this, and hopefully this is a great start for you to really help in the future.